Okay, students, welcome back. See, in earlier class we discussed the general concept of OOP. OOP means object-oriented programming. What is the general concept? First one is data abstraction. Second one is data encapsulation, modularity, inheritance, and polymorphism. Okay, and data abstraction is already done in earlier class. Okay, and next is data encapsulation. What is data encapsulation? You see, the wrapping up of data. You just note down this definition. This is very important in coming in exam, and also is very important for your FIVA in practical exam. Also in external in asking what is data encapsulation or data abstraction. Okay, just note down. See, the wrapping up of data and operations, oblique functions means same thing, that operates on the data, this is under bracket, into a single unit called class is known as encapsulation. Simply, it is the way of combining both data and the functions that operate on that data under a single unit. Means, it is basic concept of safety. Actually, you have just saved down the data. Actually, you just safely handle the data. Okay. In book, actually, this is so many example. I tell you, suppose in a office, okay, suppose you understood in a office there are many department. Okay, suppose for a office there is suppose sales department or parcels department or accounts department. Okay, a employee who working in accounts department, suppose he wants to know some details of parcels or sales, okay, then he directly do not access this. He just asks the permission of the sales department employee, then he will go through that department. Okay, this is actually concept of access the data. You do not directly access the data. You just permission. When we discuss the class and object, then you detail understood. Accessibility mode, I hope you understood in access first. Access mode, private, protected, public. For we define public, it is accesses outside of the class, and when it is private or protected, then it will not directly access outside. Okay, it will some, okay, it has some rule or some precaution, and this is actually the concept of wrapping up of data and operation that in the single unit is known as encapsulation. Means actually it is for safety of data. Safety means you just, it is protected. You do not directly access. Means what example I told you, that suppose in a office there is, suppose you many department, okay, some accounts department or sales department, production department, okay. A employee which work in production department, suppose he wants to know a information of accounts department, accounts, then he directly do not access the accounts detail. Then he will ask the accounts department, some employee, accounts department working employee for permission. Then if the accounts department employee give him the permission, then he access the data, access the detail of accounts. Means he have to ask. He do not directly access the data. Okay, this is the main concept. You just simply understood. I hope you understood the example. You just simply understood that it is for safety purpose. You cannot be directly access the data. Okay, this is the definition. The next definition is for modularity. Okay. Next is modularity. Modularity. Okay, modularity is the property. You just note down. Modularity is the property of a system that has been decomposed into a set of cohesive and loosely coupled modules. Okay, means modularity is the property of a system that has been decomposed. Means you just break down suppose a program, you break down the separate unit. Means every unit has their unique work. Suppose in a coding, then hashtag include iostream.h, conio.h. After that we write main function, and after we write return 0 get ch. Means every line has their unique function. Okay, suppose header file has unique function, main function has their unique function, variable declaration has their unique work, unique function. Means every line has a unique work, every line has their unique mechanism. Okay, that is called, actually modularity is a property, means of a system that has been decomposed into set of cohesive and loosely coupled modules, means separate unit. Then in earlier I told the example of the office, that office has many department, accounts, production, sales, and all department has their unique work, and all work together joining to form a office work. Okay, like that in coding also, main function has unique work, variable declaration has unique work, or return 0 has also unique work, get ch is unique work for display the output, or CLR SCR function has unique work for clear the screen, and all will be joining to form a program, joining to form a whole program. But if you decompose the program, then all separate unit has their unique mechanism, unique function. Okay, this is the concept of modularity. Means a program is joining of many single unit. All unit has a unique work. Means suppose if you write a program, means what is the first concept is for header file, second is main function, third is variable declaration. After cout, scene, the main function you have to write that the requirement of the program, and like the output, and after last is you just for output the output of the function, then you have to output line cout or get ch, return 0. Get ch is for display the output, return 0 for returning to the value of the main function. Means all line has their unique separate work, but when you joining all that unit, then it will be totally a program. This is the actual main concept of modularity. Mean modularity is a property of a system that has been decomposed into set cohesive and loosely coupled modules. Okay, and next is inheritance. Next is inheritance. Next is inheritance. Inheritance is the capability of one class of things to derive capabilities or properties from another class. From another class. Okay, means inheritance is the capability of one class of things to derive capabilities or properties from another class. Okay, see, you just simply see the definition. Means one class is derived from another. Inheritance, you already heard that thing. Inheritance means inherit is from, derived from something. Okay, suppose if you take a class office, okay, or class school, okay, suppose if you take a school as a class, okay, main class, then what derived class will be happen in school? There's a, suppose if in our school, then what is then HS first year is one, HS second year, or in HS first year section A, section B, HS second, section A, section B. I mean, this is the derived class. Okay, we have to derive the classes from main classes. Okay, base classes. Main class means base classes. BA, SA. We have defined. We have to study details in further classes. But you just understood the basic thing. Means one class is derived from another. One thing is derived from another, and this concept is called inheritance. We already heard many times this word inherit. Inherit means you just coming from inheritance. You are coming from your father. Father is coming from your grandfather. Then something just like that inherit. When one is derived from the another, and this concept is called inheritance. Okay, simply inheritance is the capability of one class of things to derive capabilities or properties from another class. You just note down this definition. And last one is polymorphism. And last one is very important, polymorphism. Polymorphism. Polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Okay, means what's the basic concept? Polymorphism is actually dual nature of object. Dual nature means for one function same name but dual character. Means actually in real world, if you understood, then one name is for two person. Okay, suppose Rahul is many person name. Okay, not only one name, it is common name. Is suppose for one student or HS first year name is also Rahul, HS second year is also Rahul. Means what? Means name is same but two person, like that. This is simple example. Then one name, two person means in object is also one function name, same name function, but this mechanism is different. Okay, this concept is polymorphism. Suppose shape of area is different, shape of rectangle is different, shape of trapezium is also different, but the main function is suppose shape, shape. For in shape function, suppose you define a rectangle, means this rectangle area is different. For if you define circle, its area is different. Suppose you define a square, then its shape area is different. That's like means same name but different function, same name of two function but different operation. Okay, like that. This polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Means same name. Actually, we discussed detail in further classes. Function overloading is the example. Operator overloading. Function overloading means for one name function in many requirement, in many purpose we declared. For function name is same, but we declared in many purposes, in many requirement, like that. It is polymorphism is the ability for a message or data to be processed in more than one form. Okay, you just note down. And last one is, you just note down this. These 5 definitions is very important. You note down. The last one is advantages of OOP. It is coming in exam. It is very important. Advantages of OOP. What is the advantage for we using object oriented? We already discussed the difference between OOP and POP. POP means procedural programming. I already write down, and I already write the definition of procedural programming, object-based programming, object-oriented programming, and definition of data abstraction, encapsulation, modularity, inheritance, polymorphism. These all are very important. And last is for advantages of OOP. Okay, advantages of OOP means object-oriented programming. You just note down the point. Reusability of code. Okay, reusability of code. Second is ease of comprehension. Third is ease of fabrication and maintenance. Fabrication and maintenance. And fourth point is easy redesign and extension. Easy redesign or and extension. Means this is the 4 point. In exam, sometimes coming is for 2 marks, then you have just write 2 point, or 3 marks, then you write 3 point. Means reusability of code, ease of compression, ease of fabrication maintenance, easy redesign and extension. Okay, and reusability of code means the code is reusable, means you have to use it more than one times. Okay. And ease of comprehension means you have to just write down briefly. In object-oriented programming, the concept of data is briefly coming, and ease of fabrication, maintenance, ease of redesign and extension. This all are like same concept. You just memorize this point. And last is disadvantage. This is advantages, you just note down, and next is disadvantage. Disadvantages of OOP. Okay, disadvantages of OOP. What is disadvantages? With OOP, classes tend to be overly generalized. Classes tend be overly the relations among classes becomes artificial at times. artificial at times. Okay, these all are disadvantages. Okay, that's not down. The OP programs design is tricky. The OP programs design is tricky. And fourth point, to program with OOP, also one needs to do proper planning and proper planning and proper planning and proper design for OP programming. Okay, these four are the disadvantages. Means with OOP classes can be overly generalized. Okay, means classes are generalized. Means you have to define classes are overly. Means many times it will be defined. This is the disadvantages. The relations among classes become artificial at times. The relations between the classes are not actually not easy. It will be some complexity. Very some the relations between classes are very complicated at times when we coding the program, when we just done the programming. And the OOP program design is tricky. The design is tricky means design is some some complex, some puzzle or some okay, tricky means some and last one is also one needs to do proper planning and proper design for OOP program. Means suppose you have to do a C++ programming, then OOP C++ means OOP, C++, Java, all is including OOP. Then you have to just proper planning and proper design, means properly you understood, then what you will do, then you done OOP. Okay, these four are disadvantages. Advantages and disadvantages coming in exam, that's why I write the point. You just note down this point. And tricky is means for some tough, some some lengthy process, some some puzzle. Okay. And last one is also one needs to do proper planning, proper design, means you have to just understood then what you done. So then this is the concept of flow chart. Suppose you have to done a program of suppose you have to done a program of radius. Okay, some radius you have to read a radius of the circle and you have to done a area and perimeter of a circle. Okay, then what is the concept? Suppose you have I asked you to done a program for area of a circle or perimeter of a circle, then you must be know the formula of area and formula of perimeter. If you don't know the formula of area and perimeter, then you don't have to perform. Okay, then you have to perform the coding. Then you have to, first of all you have to memorize that what is the area of the circle, what is the perimeter of the circle. Suppose I asked you to do a program for area and perimeter and diagonal of a rectangle, means you have to first of all know that what is the area of the rectangle, what is the perimeter of the rectangle, diagonal of the rectangle, then you perform it. Okay, that is the actual concept, that also one needs to do proper planning and proper design, means he or she know that what is the actual logic, what is the logic and what is the formula actually in mathematical programming, what he know must be understood. Then what is the mathematical formula, what is the mathematical concept, then he will perform in C++ or in OOP programming, in coding. Actually this is the point for this, that one must be know first of all the logic, then he will perform in coding. Okay, in OOP. OOP means C++ or Java. We study C++. Okay, and this is the okay, let's And next you write down one concept of an example of polymorphism. Suppose polymorphism we already done. Okay. Actually, polymorphism, one example, you just note down an example of polymorphism. This is sometime coming in. Polymorphism, actually, this chapter is actually almost completed. Okay, last thing, this advantage and disadvantage is the last topic of this chapter. You just write down one example of polymorphism. Example of polymorphism, then how it will operate. A function, actually, okay, we discuss in next chapter. This function overloading is the actually main concept of polymorphism. Function overloading, you just study function overloading is actually in chapter 3rd. Next chapter we study function overloading, or part of function overloading is the actual main example of polymorphism. We discuss in next class, and chapter 2 is completed. This only theory class, only theory. We done just simple. It's just very short chapter. Data abstraction, encapsulation, definition, or the object-oriented, object-based programming, procedural programming, and exam sometime coming in difference between procedural and object-oriented programming. We already study. I note down. I write you. You just note down in your copy. And main thing is advantages, disadvantages of OOP. In the last topic we already discussed. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, in next class we done the chapter 3, function overloading, and this is the main example of polymorphism. Okay, and I hope you understood. If you any down, you can ask me. Thank you.